My name's Tahia. I'm with Mass Action Against Police Brutality. We're from Boston. We're here to talk about the lives that are unjustly taken by the police. And people talk a lot about other kinds of crimes that happen, and we're totally against that. However, let's be clear, the police are paid. And because they're paid, they should be doing a better job. Their motto is to protect and serve, and that's what they ought to be doing, not based on someone's color, race, or social economical status. And so unfortunately that seems to be what they react to. They treat people less than if they believe they have less than. And we're here to say that that's not okay, and we're going to challenge them every time we have an opportunity. Every time something happens, we want you to know that we're thinking about it, we're aware of it, and we're going to call you on it. That as your family lives and you're concerned about those, these are our family. These are our family members, and we're concerned about them, and we will be here every time that you do something until you start behaving appropriately, behaving in a professional way, interacting with people as one and the same. Then we will be here to, you will have to answer to the community. It's a privilege to work in our communities. It is not, you get to, you know, it's not like, oh my God, I have to go to work. It's a privilege to work in this community, and we need you to treat it as such. So on behalf of Mass Action Against Police Brutality Boston, we are here to let this organization, the other organizations, and the police department specifically to know that this stuff will not go unchecked. Unlike they believe, like Sandra Bland, that we're not taking notice. We're taking notice, and we're going to ask for justice and require and demand justice for Sandra Bland. There was no reason for her to be arrested in the first place, but let's be clear, your behavior is less than okay, and we're going to call you on it each and every time. Thank you. That's action.
Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them.
I love you. Thank you for coming all the way down here. I love you. And I will come to Boston.
Same story every time. Being black is not a crime. Same story every time. Being black is not a crime.
Same story every time.
Being black is not a crime. Unfortunately, the police didn't get that memo. Because now we're sitting here talking about Mike Brown, Burrell Ramsey White from Boston. Don't let Boston fool you on the TV. They say that they don't have a racist police department. Absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue. Eric Garner, Dennis Reynoso, Usama Rahim, which, just to let you know, is turned into a national case because the FBI had gotten involved. Let's be clear, they are law enforcement, and we need to address them like we're addressing the local law enforcement. And Sandra Bland, hashtag say her name. Let's be clear, it is not a crime to be black unless you work for the police department and assume that role. It is clear that we must hold them responsible. Nothing happens, not because there are laws. Guess what? There are laws on the books that say they can't do it. However, there are not millions of people in the street demanding they cannot do it. So let's stomp like an elephant. Let's be clear about where we stand. It is absolutely imperative that we unite. It is absolutely imperative that we show up every single time. It's not, unfortunately, it's about the killing, but guess what? Let's go here. Someone raise your hand if you've been assaulted or intimidated by a police officer. I guarantee you there are more people assaulted and intimidated by police officers in more communities of color than we are even murdered. We need to call them on this each and every time. Every time someone tells you it happened, don't say, "What did you do?" Don't do that, because you're undermining what's going on. It is clear. It has not happened in Newark. Oh, and by the way, I'm from Newark. Woo! So let's be clear. It doesn't just happen in Newark. It doesn't happen in Boston. It doesn't happen in South Carolina. It happens everywhere. This is a systemic issue that must be addressed. And when you stop paying attention, more of it will happen. It's been happening. This is not new. The difference is that people are seeing it. People that didn't believe us before are saying, "Oh, it's true." The difference are the phones. The difference is the phone. The difference is the fact that you are empowered and emboldened to take the video. You are empowered and emboldened to say, "I have rights," and for you to stand on them. I say, don't just be mad because you ought to be mad, but organize. It's about organizing. We have come here from Boston. We organize. Listen, if Boston doesn't know anything else right now, they know mass action against police brutality. You best believe. We mean that. I was participating in a rally one day, and for my own personal story, sat on the ground as we did a die-in and heard my brother's name. What a moment. You don't want to ever hear your brother's name or your sister's name. This is about you coming together and making a difference. Let's not talk about it, let's be about it. It is absolutely, before I even thought about my brother, I was out there not because of him, but because it's wrong. And if you don't stand up, who's going to stand for you? And why would someone stand for you if you can't stand for yourself? So I say, get to it. This is not just about a rally. It's about how many connections did you make today? Each one of you should have at least 3 or 4 other people and other organizations that you are committed to working with moving forward. And you need to, when these police officers are inside talking about what they're going to do, okay, so you're going to cover this area of Newark. I want you to make sure that you meet your quota. They ought to be saying, don't do anything wrong, because we will have thousands of people at this doorstep every day. When you get off work, this is where you ought to be. What did you do today, police officers? So when I say that being black is not a crime, well, if you ask Amy Bishop, who killed 3 people at a university, injured 3, if you ask James Holmes, who killed 12 and injured 70, these 2 white people killed people. The people I named earlier killed no one. These 2 white people are standing trial. So anyone who says that this is just, any police officer who does not stand up against what's going on, as far as I'm concerned, the whole damn system is guilty as hell. Thank you. Mass action against police brutality. Woo! Mass action.
Can the People's Organization for Progress be your sister organization? Absolutely. Can we be your sister organization? We want to be your sister organization. I want to come to Boston. I want to bring a whole boatload of people to Boston.
We actually have an event Tuesday night for Sandra Bland. Please come out. It's going to be a speakeasy. A speaking at 6 o'clock. Boston, Massachusetts. And that's okay. You can like us on Facebook. We're Mass Action Against Police Brutality. Check us out. We're always doing stuff. Why? Because the police are always doing stuff.
That's my cousin.
Mass action. I like that name.
Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't We want freedom, freedom.
All these racist ass cops,
We don't need them, need them.